There is a power within you that the modern world has taught you to waste. A power that builds empires within before it builds them outside. That power is the retained seed. When a man holds his life force, something begins to shift. His eyes sharpen. His presence thickens. His silence starts to speak louder than words. Around line 4, before we go deeper into this hidden science, make sure you join the Telegram channel. The link is in the description. That's where deeper conversations happen, where knowledge flows unfiltered. Now, let's begin. Semen retention is not superstition. It's not some internet trend. It's ancient biology and metaphysical truth. In almost every spiritual culture, the seed was seen as divine fuel. Taoists called it Jing. Yogis spoke of Oyas. Warriors called it discipline. It is the same principle with different names. When a man releases too often, he becomes a hollow drum. Noise outside, emptiness inside. But when he retains, he becomes like a charged battery. The energy that would have been lost through indulgence begins to circulate upward. It feeds the nervous system. It rewires the brain. It sharpens focus and gives you a primal magnetism that words cannot teach. The world has conditioned men to chase pleasure. Every screen, every song, every social platform drips with temptation. The system thrives on your distraction. The more distracted you are, the easier you are to control. When you stop leaking your energy, you break that control. You step out of the cycle of exhaustion and addiction. You start to look reality in the eye. Retention doesn't just give physical energy. It transforms the psyche. Your mind starts feeling heavier in a good way. Not dull, but grounded. Thoughts that used to scatter like birds now line up like soldiers. You start to notice subtle details. The way people breathe around you. The shift in a woman's tone when she senses your calm confidence. The way your own heartbeat starts syncing with your purpose. Energy doesn't vanish when you retain it, transforms. What you once used for lust now powers intuition, vision, and charisma. That's why artists, warriors, and saints across history practiced it. They understood that creativity and sexuality are two ends of the same current. When you hold your seed, you don't kill desire. You refine Italiano. Desire becomes direction. Lust becomes leadership. At T's point, you might feel the surge, that pull of the inner world, calling for expression. This is where dark femininity enters. Dark femininity is not evil. It is the mysterious, magnetic, chaotic side of creation. The moon, not the sun. The night, not the day. It represents surrender, intuition, and power that doesn't need to shout. The reason men who retain start attracting women with dark feminine energy is simple. Opposites attract, but only when both poles are charged. When you are drained, you cannot magnetize. You can only chase. When you are charged, you draw in what complements you. The dark feminine senses this in your aura. She feels the calm dominance in your silence. She reads it in your eyes that no longer dart around for validation. Your stillness becomes her mirror. Her chaos feels safe around your order. This is not about manipulation. It's resonance. Retention builds a field around you, and the feminine energy that matches that vibration naturally appears. The more you master your lust, the more you stop craving attention. Ironically, that's when attention floods in. But here's the paradox. The moment you retain only to get women, you've already lost the energy. Retention is not a trick to seduce. It is the alchemy of self-man. The women are reflections, not the goal. The true reward is the clarity that comes from being fully alive in your own power. Now, before we continue, if you're getting value from this, use the thanks button below to contribute. It helps keep this channel independent and full of truth. Every contribution, no matter how small, helps sustain the message. Let's continue deeper. When you retain, your body begins to reabsorb vital minerals, hormones, and proteins. Your testosterone, your dopamine sensitivity resets. The fog that once ruled your mornings starts to clear. You wake up alert without needing external stimulation. Science has already caught glimpses of this. Retention increases focus, drive, and even muscle density. But what science struggles to measure is the spiritual intensity it generates, the sense that your aura thickens, that you walk into a room and something shifts. People might not know why, but they feel it. It's presence, the rarest currency in today's world. Retention turns you from consumer to creator. You stop being a slave to impulses. You start to channel your energy into craft, purpose, and vision. The more you create, the more you transform lust into legacy. And legacy always outlasts pleasure. Here's a truth that ancient mystics whispered. The seed is the key to the soul's furnace. It burns slow and steady when protected. It explodes and disappears when wasted. Every time you hold it, you tell the universe you're not here for cheap highs. You're here to rise. As your internal fire grows, your magnetism becomes undeniable. Women sense it in ways logic can't decode. The dark feminine, especially, is drawn to a man who has tamed his animal nature without killing it. She wants to dance with danger that's under control. Your restraint makes her surrender feel safe. Your awareness becomes her sanctuary. This attraction is not about looks or words. It's frequency. A man who retains radiates something primal, yet spiritual. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware. Every woman attuned to her shadow side feels this. She doesn't just see you. She feels your pulse in her bones. In the ancient mystery schools, initiates were trained to circulate sexual energy upward through the spine. This was called transmutation. It meant that instead of spilling energy outward, they turned it inward to illuminate the mind. That's why retention leads to sharper intuition. You start to read reality like an open book. When you practice retention, your dreams intensify. Your creative ideas flow like rivers. Even your voice deepens. Your words carry conviction. That's the sound of your soul reclaiming authority. But this path demands discipline. Retention without direction becomes frustration. You must channel it into fitness, art, meditation, or business. Otherwise, the energy will turn against you and create restlessness. The goal is not suppression, but redirection. Every moment of temptation is a test of sovereignty. When you say no to release, you say yes to expansion. You learn to enjoy the build-up. You learn patience. That patience spills into every area of your life. You stop reacting and start responding. The dark feminine respects this discipline. She is drawn to a man who can look into her eyes without being consumed. She knows he can hold her chaos without judgment. The more you evolve, the more your energy becomes a sanctuary for such women. In relationships, retention doesn't mean abstinence forever. It means mastery. Knowing when to give, when to hold, when to merge, and when to separate. It turns intimacy into energy exchange rather than energy loss. You no longer look for completion through someone else. You bring completion into every interaction. Your aura becomes charged. People sense your confidence, but can't explain it. You don't need external validation because your body itself has become your source of power. This is when your inner world becomes the ultimate magnet, not just for women, but for opportunities, ideas, and synchronicities. Life starts aligning. The same energy that once created chaos now organizes reality around your intent. You begin to see that the seed is not just physical fluid. It is potential in liquid form. When retained, that potential returns home and builds the kingdom within. The more you master this, the calmer you become. The calmer you become, the deeper your impact. Your gaze becomes grounding. Your touch becomes healing. Your words start to carry authority without aggression. This is masculine energy at its peak frequency. In this frequency, the dark feminine feels both challenged and cherished. She recognizes a mirror of her own depth. She sees that you are not afraid of her shadow, and that's what draws her closer. Her power meets yours, and together they spiral into creative intensity. Retention creates polarity. Polarity creates attraction. Attraction fuels creation. That's the hidden cycle of life and magnetism. You become the center of gravity, not by chasing, but by embodying. This doesn't mean you become celibate for life. It means you stop living like a leaking battery. You use your energy consciously. You release only when it serves love, creation, or deep connection. Never for momentary escape. Imagine your seed as sacred currency. Spend it wisely and your world multiplies. Waste it, and your world empties. Every act of retention is an investment into your higher self. The returns are not visible immediately, but they come as strength, clarity, and power that others can feel but can't name. Your inner world starts glowing. That glow calls in what matches it: women of depth. Opportunities that require leadership, friendships that inspire growth. This is how the retained seed turns into magnetic reality. As you evolve, you'll see that the real game was never about women or attention. It was about sovereignty, mastery over self. A man who owns his energy owns his destiny. He no longer fears loss because he is rooted in abundance. Now pause and think. How many men you know truly radiate calm confidence without speaking? Very few. That's why this path is rare. But rarity breeds power. When you walk this path, you become a beacon in a world of noise. You attract by existing. Your mind becomes sharper, your emotions steadier, your presence fuller. This is not fantasy. It's neurochemistry, aligned with spirit. You've shifted from consuming energy to becoming energy. And that shift makes the dark feminine approach rather than retreat. As your energy refines, even your silence becomes communication. People start opening up to you. You listen without trying. You speak without over-explaining. You exist in a state of awareness where everything feels connected. That's the ultimate magnetism. And remember, this practice is not about moral superiority. It's about energetic intelligence. Retention doesn't make you better than others. It makes you more yourself, the version of you that is disciplined, creative, and alive. As we reach the end, remember to join the Telegram channel from the link in the description. That's where you'll find deeper guidance, insights, and brotherhood for this journey. And if this message has added value to your life, consider contributing using the thanks button below. Every contribution, no matter how small, is deeply appreciated. It helps keep this knowledge alive and freely available for those who are ready to awaken their true power. Keep your energy sacred. Let your seed become your silence. Let your silence become your magnetism. The dark feminine will come, not because you chase her, but because you have become the kind of man who cannot be ignored. The retained seed is not just a practice. It is a path back to your throne.